just go over the different groups, 1 or 2 minutes each.
We spoke about transforming how we think about design and the decentralization of fused systems. In the context of rural environments that rely on more standardized technologies, they can become infeasible, such as, for example, living in a rural community. Oftentimes they don't have piping and they get their water from wells because they're so far out there, and it's not feasible to have pipes go all the way out there due to either money, because pipes are expensive, but also the fact that pipes can corrode after a while and lead to more contamination of the water.
So how do we engage in genuine co-design processes that many native thinkers and activists have really emphasize, and they talk about that, but I guess that one of the challenges is how do we make that happen in reality. Rev also mentioned that in STEM, in traditional STEM, there's no really room for failure, and then Alice contributed to this thought, mentioning that in reality failure is some kind, it is a privilege. Selena also challenged what writing means, and how indigenous peoples historically have the way of doing science, if you will, is like going out, being embedded in the environment, and then writing the observations down. But writing includes basket weaving and carving and beading. So not only the papers that we're used to maybe to read, or books, these other kinds of ideas, which open up a lot of space for innovation within STEM education.
And a lot of this co-design with communities leads to long-term personal relationships with community members, which has been very fulfilling to people involved, both researchers and individual community members. And and just this co-design should be taking place at the community level, which is localized governments, but also this co-design should involve one-on-one communication with, say, like community elders, and the elders usually have most of the knowledge from the community. And of course, there is a language barrier, but that's something the researcher has to work through. And some action items that we discussed, which we didn't really get that far. A lot of it was just trying to understand where we're coming from. But community act, an action item is that a lot of communities, they want to know if their natural resources, such as water, land, is contaminated. So that's I think that's what a lot of communities are struggling to comprehend and understand.
Because we are focused on sovereignty, some of the action items that we had one was just really having this focus on self-sufficiency and self-reliance. In doing these projects, there's going to be kind of multiple stakeholders involved, different organizations, both within and outside of the community, and really being clear that the end goal of this is to increase resiliency and increase self-sufficiency was one of the action items that we came up with. The third thing in terms of an action item that we discussed was really understanding the realities of power dynamics, and by engaging the community, giving them a voice and amplifying their thoughts, their perspectives on these issues, while also being able to protect them, because there are a lot of forces out there that have their own self-interests, and I think banding together is a really powerful part of increasing fused sovereignty, and especially addressing environmental justice.